You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing in Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
It's 40 feet long. It's a cold-blooded killer. And it's prowling the galleries of Sternberg Museum. It's Super Croc, 10 tons of tear that you've got to see to believe. Sternberg Museum and Project Exploration bring you a creature so big it was a dinosaur's worst nightmare. Don't miss your chance to see the science of Super Croc, only at the Sternberg Museum, Hayes, Kansas.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of the West Central Kansas Smart Start Grant. Now, normally, I am the host of the program, and I get to interview the guests, but today I'm going to talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart. So I asked my friend Ray from Youth Friends, Ray Smith, to come, and she's going to interview me. So we'll turn the tables, and I'll give the mic to Ray, and you can interview me.
Okay. Dana, tell me a little bit about your position.
Well, now you have to get it right there. As I say every day, I am the coordinator of the West Central Kansas Smart Start Grant. That is the majority of my job. I also work, as you know, part-time for Youth Friends, but also I coordinate a grant called the Strengthening Families Grant, and that's what I would like to talk to you about today.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about the Strengthening Families Grant, Dana.
Okay. The Strengthening Families Grant is funded by federal CBCAP dollars, and that means CBCAP means Community-Based Child Abuse Prevention. The goal of that grant is to prevent child abuse by strengthening and supporting families, which, you know, is a wonderful cause. The Strengthening Families Grant, we applied for that last spring. We received it officially in July. The grant totals almost $15,000, so we're very, very happy to have gotten that grant for USD 489 here in Hayes.
Dana, tell us what kind of programs the Strengthening Families Grant supports in Hayes.
All right. The Strengthening Families program here in Hayes has the majority of the grant was focused on providing training for our parents as teachers and early Head Start staff. It funded a training to teach them a new curriculum for their home visitation program. So the majority of the grant went for that. There's also a small percentage of the grant set aside to promote awareness of the Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. That's a mouthful. Yes.
That is a mouthful. Tell us when that month is, Dana.
Well, of course, it's April. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. In fact, this month and throughout the whole year, we always want to make sure that we try to prevent child abuse, but they have set aside the month of April to really try to promote that.
And Dana, we all fear child abuse and don't want to think about it, but is child abuse a problem in Ellis County?
Yes, it is. You know, if we have one incidence of child abuse, it's too much. I can tell you I have some statistics. In the state of Kansas last year, 56,738 incidents of child abuse were reported. Now, right here in Ellis County, 394 incidents were reported in 2009. So obviously, you know, if we have any, it's too many. But the one thing we want to stress is this month we're talking about the prevention of child abuse. So we want to talk about how we can prevent child abuse from happening here in Ellis County.
So why don't you tell us how we can actually prevent child abuse from happening?
Now, the grant that the Strengthening Families Grant has a lot of great research on the best way to do that. And really simply put, the best way to prevent child abuse is to support our parents, to provide them the things they need. The Strengthening Families Grant has outlined some factors that they believe if you can give these things to parents, then we'll do a better job of preventing child abuse. There's 5 factors. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. The first is nurturing an attachment. If we can have parents make a bond with their child, attach with their child, you know, get to know their child, that's really important. Knowledge of parenting and of child and youth development. I think a lot of people think that once you have your child, you should automatically know what to do. But I know as a parent, my child didn't come with an instruction book. I didn't know what to do. Luckily for us here in Hays and in Ellis County, we have lots of parent education classes. And that's something that we fund through Strengthening Families and some other grants. So we want to make sure that parents feel good about going to a parent education class, learning about the developmental milestones that their child should be reaching at certain points. Parental resilience is another factor. We need to recognize signs of stress in ourselves. When do we feel like we're just barely able to cope, and when do we need to walk away, and things like that? That would help prevent child abuse. If parents begin to realize in themselves, wow, I'm really stressed out today, and I need to really, try to calm down. Social connections. You do better if you're having a stressful time if you have friends and families or coworkers that you can reach out to in times of stress. So that's a really important factor for parents, is to have some sort of social connection. And finally, we're looking for concrete support for parents. If they've lost their job, if they're having maybe a mental health crisis, or they're having trouble getting food on the table, are families and parents aware of the places they can go for those concrete supports to help them out through a troubled time? So all of those factors really help us, we believe, prevent child abuse in the long run.
Those are very good points, Dana, and I think we all hate to admit that maybe we need a little help with parenting, but like you said, our children don't come with instruction manuals.
No.
So tell us a little bit more about some of the specific resources then that the parents could draw upon.
Now, here in Hays, once again, we're very lucky. We have lots of resources. Of course, the local school district. Parents as Teachers is a great way to learn more about parenting skills. Head Start, Early Head Start, Healthy Start, Healthy Families, the Children's Center. We have so many resources available to parents. We want to let people know about them and not feel bad about accessing them.
Okay. Dana, obviously my children are grown, and there are people out there watching today that don't have children, but we still would like to help. How could we help prevent child abuse in Ellis County?
Now, one of the things I mentioned were some of these programs. Most of these programs are funded by state or federal dollars. Now, we know the state of our economy, especially here in Kansas, is very scary right now. There's a budget crisis. We're out of money. There's not enough money to go around. The thing that we're worried about is that a lot of our programs are being identified as ones to cut. In particular, I can speak to Parents as Teachers is one of the programs identified to be cut in the state of Kansas due to budget shortfalls. And although we know everybody has to do their part, we would like our legislators to know that we would like to at least keep the funding level for these really important initiatives for early childhood. I would like to think we have tremendous support from our local legislators. Senator Janice Lee, Representative Eber Phelps have always been strong advocates of early childhood. But we would ask everybody out there, let your legislators know the importance of early childhood, Parents as Teachers, all of those home visitation programs that really protect our children and strengthen our families. And we have a website, and I'll tell you at the end that'll tell you how you can contact your legislators.
I was just going to ask that because that would be very useful for several of us. Tell me also, I think you have a big event coming up for April?
Yes, we do. The Family Fun Fest is April 24th. It is at the Hays at the Mall. It's from 1 to 4. It's a free activity. It's for parents. It's from children birth to 12. And they get to go. There'll be lots of organizations from Hays that'll have a free activity for the children to do right there. And there'll be information for parents. And it's a great way for parents to spend the day with their child, or grandparents, or aunts and uncles, anyone. It's a great time. My kids love it, and I really encourage everybody to attend that.
Dana, that sounds like a great time. Can you tell us the date and time of it again, and any other details you may have forgotten?
Yeah, I'm sure I forgot something, but most importantly, April 24th from 1 to 4 at the mall in Hays. It's free. We encourage everybody to be there. Well, I think that's it, Ray. Okay, I'm going to take over now. You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.